Right, we're in for a cheeky little hamstring day. I don't know why it is so grey and disgusting outside. I know the lighting's not very good, but it'll have to do. Still no mic as well, but yeah, even though it's been a grey day, I've gotten loads of stuff done today. We've got up early, did a bunch of shit, and then yeah, and guess here I am, about 12 hours later. So I've been watching House of Dragon. Well, I've watched one episode of House of Dragon, and it was hands. Like the entire episode, it was just people throwing hands. It was crazy. I tell you what, if the series continues like that, no wonder people are loving it, because the budget must have been crazy. I mean, with all of the dragons going on, the fire, all of the props, the sea fight was incredible. Really, really good. You don't normally get to see that type of action in films, so it was nice to see. It's getting cooler as well, actually, the weather, so it's a lot nicer to lift in cooler weather. When it's really humid, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's humid. It's definitely been a humid day today. But when it's just hot, I don't know. Heat with humidity is just different. But if it's humidity on its own, you will be sweating buckets still, but you won't be dying of heat. You won't get like tired as fast. But man, I've been thinking about that standing hamstring curl that was at the other gym. And I've only ever tried like 3 standing calf raises before. There's a way to make them, and there's a way not to make them. So if you're fully standing, and you're just like genuinely standing straight up, and you're just like holding on to something, that is not the way to go about it. Because when you're doing it that way, there's like 25% of the movement that you're like, the weight just kind of feels slack. But if there's a standing one where, you know, the leg that you're working is, how do I say this? It's been put into a bit of a preacher curl position, where it's supported at the front and also like in the sides. I don't know how to explain it. But with that one, you're like way more locked in. Also, you're normally actually on the machine, more hunched over. And that one is way better of a design. So good. I would like to get one of those, because those are just, well, one, it's different because obviously you're standing up and it's a little less, I don't know, it's more fun standing up doing the movement than it is laying down or sitting down, because hamstrings in general aren't very, well, they're not particularly exciting. A bit like preacher curls, really. Yeah, so having a stand-up one just is nice, changes things up. But don't get me wrong, I would still love a seated one. The only one that I don't particularly like, well, not that I don't particularly like, it's more like, it's rare to come by good ones, are the lying hamstring curls. But I've kind of been forced to do the lying hamstring curls at the moment, because the flex leverage one, although it is insanely good, it's the best hamstring curl machine there is out there. It's just too light. It is just too light, so I have to either put an insane amount of weight on, which doesn't really work given the way the machine is made. or I do like lying hamstring curls first and then do hamstrings, so then I'll be a bit pre-fatigued, so then I can do the full stack and it actually feel like it's like a working weight. But anyway, we'll skip to the line curls. But it doesn't get much easier than that, to be honest with you. Hamstrings, unless you're doing RDLs, I mean seriously, easy peasy. I don't remember if I said or not, but I finished Castlevania Nocturne. I gotta say, both Castlevania and Nocturne spin-off series were really great. I mean, the animation in the final fight, or just the entire sequence, the entire final sequence of Castlevania Nocturne was just great. Really, really good. But I will say, the story, the overall story, I think, and the characters, I liked a little bit more in the original series. I think just a little bit of today's wokeness crept into into Nocturne. But Alucard is definitely remains my favourite character. He's bad ass, bad to the bone, for sure. Oh, sure, for sure. Yeah, he's too good of a character not to have in the spin-off series. I understand why, obviously, Trevor and his girl wasn't in the other one, because obviously they're human, and it took, Nocturne took place a couple hundred years later. So obviously they're long gone by the time that rolled around. But thankfully, Well, actually, we didn't see anything of Dracula or his wife. Did Dracula end up turning her into a vampire in the end? We don't know. We just kind of left that one open. Do I feel like I needed to know what happened? Not really. But basically, the way Castlevania ended was, well, I don't really want to spoil anything, but basically, happy ever after, basically. Which I wasn't expecting, halfway through that series. If you would have told me that. So, but yeah, very, very good series. Netflix was cooking when they made those. I'm ready to dive into my next thing. I am watching. What am I watching? Ghost in the Shell at the moment, which is a Prime Vid one. The third season of, I forgot what it's called. That Tensai one, which is like an isekai. And then of course the old House of Dragon, which, man, that particular one scene where Aemond was Smooch's mother was not very nice. It was very unpleasant to watch. I'm sure I can say that for everyone, because that was awful. But yeah, I think, going off topic, I think I'm due for another calorie bump. I think another 150 calories added to the old diet would suffice for a calorie bump, because this weekend I weighed in at around the same weight that I did the week before. So I think it's time for an extra bumpage, which I'm deciding whether or not to put it in my pre-workout meal or a different meal. The thing is with my pre-workout meal, it's already a decent size. I don't really want to be lifting on too big of a pre-workout meal, so I think pushing it towards maybe even the last meal of the day. I do like eating more later in the day, even if it's the last meal of the day. As long as I'm not bloated, I can eat a lot of food, but as long as I'm not bloated with that food, then it won't affect my sleep. So I'm thinking, an extra handful of oats, I reckon, in that last pudding meal. I don't have rice pudding because I already eat enough rice as it is, and I love oats. I like oats eating. See, I like oats, but I don't love porridge. I don't hate porridge. It's just I like eating oats when they're not so gloopy, because when you're eating porridge, I mean, porridge is hard as hell to get down. It's heavy, it's satiating, it's too satiating to be eating on a bulk. Let's be real. So instead of making it gloopy, like most people probably would, I just basically pour boiling hot water over my oats, and it kind of gives it enough texture where it's where it's not completely just raw, dry oats, but enough where it's got a bit of texture to where it's kind of a flapjack type of texture, where it's not completely like sludge. It's still got its texture to it, basically. It's still got its oatiness about it. And I like that. I find that works for me. And also, it's somewhat light in the uptake of fluid. Because I'm not completely drowning it in water, I'm only giving it enough to kind of soak up its own body weight. And then it's not raw then. It's not like raw oats. That's the way I like to do it. And then I just kind of drizzle honey. And I would normally count the honey. If I was cutting, I would definitely count the honey. But because I'm not, I'm at the end of the bulk, I just kind of go once or twice over. I like honey. Who doesn't love honey? So anyway, that's enough for today. I'll see you in the next one for chest, which I'm looking forward to because that new chest fly in there is looking particularly good. So I'll see you then.